and salutations. Welcome to the latest episode of Bourbon Banter podcast with me, Mr. Bourbon. Boy, it's been a minute, man. 2020 was the last episode, so what to start 2022 off strong, keep it consistent. First episode of the new year. We've got two people who have been on previous episodes before. Do you want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, Anton, also known as Scorcher Vibes, representing Sheffield.
Chef City, the Still City.
Project management and DJing, flyer designs.
Multifaceted.
Catch me on Instagram, Scorcher_Vibes.
I'm not going to come with all of that. Jasmyne, local resident.
Yeah, man. No, do you know what? You were on the second episode ever.
Yeah.
That was about R. Kelly, wasn't it?
Oh,
How you gonna have me on? Oh, yeah.
You had that one.
Yeah, he gave me R. Kelly.
cancelled.
We're meant to be good friends.
Yeah.
He threw you under the bus.
Listen, that was a serious one, man. That was a serious one.
Imagine looking back now, because of what's happened.
Yeah.
Like,
My stance aged very well.
Yeah.
My stance aged very, very well. Trust me. You listen back to that episode 2. And you on a later episode as well. Do you know what?
What Colour is a Mermaid?
Yeah.
That was the one.
And do you know what? That had a lot of really good feedback. You know your story, like.
My story.
No, your kind of life story.
The reels.
Yeah. Yeah. It was crazy, man. Got some crazy feedback, man.
That's good,
like, that story's crazy though. And it's the most unique story I've heard in a long time.
It was crazy to live it.
Yeah, no. Trust me, going back and listen to it, the episode was what colour is a mermaid anyway? That was a really, really, really deep conversation.
No, I enjoyed it. I feel like we got a lot of different perspectives as well. But yeah, I feel like it's things that we don't really talk about too tough. Like, people aren't really too transparent with their experiences. It's opinions. You know, what I went through, what you went through, within a sentence on a social media platform, but nobody actually explains the extent. So yeah, no, it was good.
No, 100%, man. But yeah, well, so 2020 was the last episode. COVID, boy, that's just kind of, you know what I mean? It's mashed a lot. It's kind of mashed a lot of things up. But you know, I saw a tweet, and it said, imagine if COVID didn't happen. No, if COVID didn't happen, imagine how different it would be. And it kind of resonated with me because I kind of thought that over the past couple of years, you've had to really adjust the way you kind of live and the way you think and the way you move and stuff. And I kind of think that, do you think that that's kind of impacted you in a way, or do you think you're a little bit different, or do you think if COVID didn't happen, you would actually be on not a different path, but think differently or move differently? Do you think?
I like to think I'm a very independent thinker, but there's only, even if you think you are that way, there's only so far you can go within an environment that only allows you to. So it's like, I can say that I believe in this and this, because I'm not for the vax, I'm not for that, I'm not for, because I was in London, but I wasn't necessarily isolating, I was still seeing family. I was still, obviously I couldn't go to, you know, many social events and whatnot, but...
Was you at number 10?
I was winding
Tell the truth.
I was winding up with Bojo.
Yeah.
You caught me. No.
These are
Did you see the video of him dancing?
Yo.
Did you see?
Yo, yeah, with the auntie. Somebody's auntie. He was giving the...
Whose auntie was that? 'Cause I feel sorry for
know.
her whole family.
He was giving the stiffest wine I've ever seen.
Bojo gets gal. What is a gallus anyway?
He is a gallus, actually.
Don't.
He actually is.
But I like to think of myself as an independent thinker, but if you can only go so far, you do start to automatically feel stunted. Like, your growth feels stunted, your thought processes become stunted. So even though you might have a lot of time, you've got nowhere to go. All you can do is plan, think, and then if those things can't go anywhere, if they can't grow into anything because of your environment, what do you do with that? Like, it's like you're stuck. Regardless of whether you agree with how things are going, you are physically stuck. So for me, that's how it was. But I think now, I just don't respect it. I just don't respect any of it. I don't respect the lies. I don't respect the way that it's been painted. I don't respect the things that are in place to keep us safe, because they're not. And when the people who are enforcing them are not willing to respect it, and then you've kept my people and my family in their households, not being able to see their dying relatives, not being able to see the people that they love and are close to for 2 years.
Yeah.
It's
been
what do you want me to listen to? I'm not listening to you.
There's some granddads that I know that's literally just been stuck in his house and not really been able to see any of the grandchildren. Now, I think the problem is the government kind of shot themselves in the foot.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Because the slogan was, we are all in this together.
Yeah.
So then for all this to come out, it's like, well, clearly we wasn't. Even though deep down you kind of knew. Yeah. It's not nice for it to be paraded in front of your face.
No.
So yeah, I think they kind of, and I think that's why there's been a massive now lack of confidence and trust in what they are saying now. Which is why I don't think they'll ever put us back in. I don't think they'll put us back in lockdown. Not England.
Nah.
Who's listening now?
Nobody's going to listen.
No.
We're going into lockdown next week. It's like, alright, cool. But
the funny thing was, right, that woman, what was her name? Something Stratton.
Not a clue.
Who, she resigned because she made a joke about there being a potential party.
The silenced her,
Angela
basically.
Stratton. I can't remember her name, but her anyway. She was laughing on video. I think there was like a leaked video where she was laughing at a press conference about when he asked about whether there was a party, and she was like, "Oh, there was no party. It was just wine and cheese or whatever." And the Boris Johnson was like, "I can't believe you. I'm disgraced that somebody was laughing about this, and we all need to take this serious, and we all need to do this." And then the next minute you find out he was actually
bumping and grinding.
Yeah, raving up in his own party. And there's multiple parties that actually took place. And the thing is as well, like, it's just the fact that my man stood there and was like throwing people under the bus, and I can't believe she did that. I was like, bro, you were doing that at the same time, probably before.
So all just actors. This is it. It literally is.
In fact, it was before TV. Because his was like one of his birthday or something, wasn't it? And it was his birthday. I think that was like early on in the year, and I think there was like a party like in like May 2020, which if you remember then, that was like the height of like lockdown.
May 2020. That's when everything started getting, the air started getting clean and the rivers started getting clean because nobody was doing anything.
No one was doing this is what I'm doing.
The bees came back and the wildlife grew. These times in number 10, these lot are getting down.
But that's what I'm saying. And my man was like throwing people on the bus, saying, "I can't believe people are doing this. Can't believe people are doing that, man." So it's a bit mad still. To be honest, I'm glad that like now things are starting to kind of like
getting back to normal.
Yeah, because I was sick and tired of like the constant debates of people like.
It's crazy.
The thing is, no one actually knows as well. This is
my point.
This is my point.
No one knows.
So settle your backside.
Be quiet.
This is my point.
Relax.
And
take time.
What people don't understand is you've got two extremes, right? You've got people that anti-vax, like to the point where they want everyone to know and they're judging everyone who does whatever. And then you've got people on the other side who are super pro.
How can you be so selfish?
How can you put
Exactly.
And it's none of them. You ain't a scientist either. So just like you ain't
saying.
either. Yeah?
So you've got you've got like you've got 5G Gary, yeah, and then you've got double jabbed Vicky, yeah. So you've got those two. But the thing is, what they don't understand is they are the same person.
Yeah.
They're the same person because it's not so much. Then you've got people in the middle that are like, yo, do you? This is what I believe, but this may not be right to me. That's not right.
That's where I am.
But do you?
Yeah. That's where I am.
And just kind of sit in the middle.
Do what's best for you, bro.
Do what's best for you.
Mind your business.
And don't judge other people to do whatever.
No.
It's not even just that though. It's within families. The arguments. Like I'm the only person in my family that's not vaccinated.
Oh, so they're looking at you when you come around.
Every single one of them is like, "When are you going to do this, Jasmine? It's very serious." I'm like, I understand. I've seen the state of the world, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
That's it. That's as far as it goes. I don't want to put that in my body.
But at the same time, you're then not saying.
Not pointing fingers.
Never. This is my point. It's people that.
It's actually a lack of respect as far as I'm
concerned. It is.
People. It's the people that literally are on either side that are pointing the fingers, saying you need to do this or I believe this. Because The problem is, none of these people are doctors, right? And you've got people that... no, seriously, it annoys me because I remember, like...
Even the doctors don't know.
They don't
That's
know.
the point, yeah.
And the doctors have got opposing views.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got some doctors that say...
Yes.
And you've got some people that say, look,
yeah.
I think it's fine and I think it's good, but I just don't think I need it, kind of thing.
But
Do you
see,
know what I mean?
anytime anything from somebody that works within, let's say, within the NHS comes out where they have an opposing view, they make it fake news, or they put it down to social media, or extremist views, or it has no scientific backing what he said.
Yeah.
Well, why?
It's just
why are you saying that?
It's just to stir up and get people riled up.
Exactly.
Because the problem is that what people need to remember as well, people's views have evolved over time as well. So people make out like they were one position, but literally, remember the certain people that thought like COVID derived from 5G, you know?
Yeah.
I was one of those people.
Yeah? You were 5G?
It's embarrassing.
Well, but the thing is, yeah, some people, that's where some people started. But then, like, I remember, I went down, I went to shut down my road, This is like early COVID. And there was like a telephone tower. And there was a group of people, I said, yo, fam, man, I definitely gonna go upstairs. I'm pulling that down. It's smashed, that's 5G, you know, it's smashing people up, you know. And I was like, wow. And that same person then is then time later trying to preach to someone else about, yo, you need to be researching. I'm thinking, but I'm sorry, but like, you can't 1 minute say it's due to 5G and the next minute then say, trying to like preach to somebody else about something when clearly there was no research done before. And at the same time, you've got other people that literally from the very start have been like, we need to be vaccinated this and vaccinated that. It's like, yo, listen, like, you're not a doctor. You're not a doctor.
Suckle your backside.
Yeah.
Take in the information.
Yep.
Do what's best for you.
Yep.
Move on.
And then you've got some people that were like hardcore from the start saying, well, I don't know about this booster, you know. So I'm like, the thing is, people views are evolving over time, which is good. But it's kind of like what people need to remember is at one point you were saying this, you know.
I think people just want something to believe in, so they feel like there's something that they can do. I genuinely feel that's what it is. Like they attach themselves to a view, so it's like they believe in it so hard. It's like they're almost doing something without doing something. So it's like they'll talk the most in comments, and you know it's always an issue between everybody around them. But they're not actually doing anything. You're still in the same position. So just see what happens. Take it day by day.
See, that's what
protect
I said.
yourself and your people, and that's it.
I think my views of this scenario is we need to be careful so it doesn't get pulled off. My views are whether you do or whether you don't. Let's see what happens. And that's the best study you could ever do.
Yeah.
Next 5 years, let's see
you
what
don't
happens.
have a choice.
I'm all for that.
Let's see what happens. Yeah. Well, that's all you can do. That's the only option. So let's roll with it and be quiet.
I'm literally all for that because I remember when, like, I got COVID early. Like I was like, I'm a OG COVID.
You just have to.
OG. So literally, like, trust me. Like in March 2020, I got it.
Did you come to Jasmyne and Anton's?
No, maybe.
Yes, you did.
With COVID?
No. But that's when I got hit. And then
you blame
got
it
hit not long after that, bro. It might be me that gave it to you.
When was it? Yeah, where was she thing?
Beginning of March, bro.
No, I got it. I remember it was like 20 something.
Oh no, you should be alright.
20 something of March, I got it. Because I remember it was at work. I was like, yo, I need to go home. I need to go home. Yo, temperature was like, I went home and it licked me for 6. I didn't leave bed for like a week. But I got one of the OG strains in it, yeah.
That was the original ones.
Yeah, OG.
Not the stuff that you get today.
These variants.
It's variants. None of that business.
Tried and tested it, trust me. You know what I mean? I had the Ray version. You them lot have trust me.
Watered
exactly. These are
WKD.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Trust me. Watermelon WKD. Trust me. But I remember I got it, and some people saying to me, "Yo, trust me, like COVID don't exist, man. You ain't got it."
It's like, I got something right now.
You got flu. Bear in mind, these times I'm 35 years old, thinking, fam, how are you trying to tell a grown-ass man, what is going on with their body? Do you know what I mean?
I know how I feel.
That's what I'm saying.
Everyone felt like they could tell everybody everything that they were feeling there. Like
the entitlement was crazy.
100%, it's crazy.
You don't have like
you didn't have your mind.
I'm like, bro, like I've had flu before, you know. If I'm like, I'm a grown-ass man. Do you know what I mean? Like
I've lived on this planet for a long time now. I know what flu feels like.
That's what I'm saying. First of all, me and you the same age.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Trying to school me.
Suck with your backside.
Nah, I hear that. You know, for me, the lockdown was interesting. I I got to a point in Sheffield, and you can attest to this, where I was just getting booked. So I was just on my
What, house raves?
garage. No, this is before COVID. This is
Okay. You're putting it during.
I broke into like a different scene, and I still had my old scene. So I was just like, it was just a week on week. I was like, oh my gosh, and then COVID shut everything down. So at first I was like, but then a few months before that, my son was born. And it's the first time I've ever been at home for so long with a chat. So I've got 4 kids. And the bond that we have,
it's different.
oh my gosh, it's different. It's like I'm at the restaurant with the wife or whatever, and I'm sitting there. I wonder if he's alright. This has never happened to me before. You know when you hear like women go out and they're like, oh, and they're too busy worrying about what's happening with their child. They're not focusing on what's going on. That's the first time it happened to me. So I was
separation anxiety.
Yeah, it's the first time I've ever had it, and I was like, so I got to see everything. Because well, to be fair, I'm still at home now, so because I work from home with my job. So he sees me every day. If I leave, it's a problem. Because he's just used to me being around. So for me, when everything quietened down, although I was crying because I wasn't DJing.
Yeah, you missed out on a lot of DJP. A lot of DJP. Because listen, if you ever follow this guy on Facebook or Instagram, your whole news feed is Anton's face. New party. Anton's face, new party. Anton's face, new party. I'm just like, yo, do you actually stop? Like, I can imagine I was
sitting there thinking, but then at the same time, like my son's football, the stuff that would cost me more money that I was using to pay for it, like the football, that stopped. So I realized it kind of balanced out a little bit, and I got to spend some time at home. So I am one of the few people that probably enjoyed a bit of the lockdown.
I enjoyed the downtime. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we were talking about this earlier. Locked off my relationship was horrible. Jeez. Like, it was very intense. It was very, very intense. Very intense.
Lockdown was a good time to find out if you're going to be your partner or not.
You get to know someone.
You get to know. If you survive through lockdown, you're good.
It's like your first holiday, isn't it?
It was basically like Big Brother, you know, like when they start to argue when they're doing the tasks and all that. Like, it was basically like Big Brother. If somebody put a camera on us, we would probably make bare money. But we didn't last that. But for me, it was nice because I went to London to spend it there. So, you know, even though nothing was open, it was nice to just be in different settings. I was just walking around Battersea Park every day. I don't know who thought I was meditating, like doing all sorts. I was centered. I was like taking up online courses for free, just growing. Incense. I was growing incense, sage every day. It was good, but then, at the end of it, I lost my relationship, and now I'm back in Nottingham. So,
I'm not laughing at you.
It was good until it wasn't, you know.
I guess that was the test.
Yeah.
It was definitely
because a lot of relationships broke up during.
I heard.
You're not alone. Like,
I think people kind of learnt more about themselves and about who the other person is as well, and it's sort of like when you're kind of in an enclosed area. That's why they say usually when you go on holiday, the first holiday as a couple. That's like
because now it's just you and them. Now what?
What you got to talk about?
What you got to talk about? What you got to do, and you ain't really got no other outlet, and everything else has stopped. And that's what COVID.
I remember looking back at
stopped.
previous holidays when like with an ex, and I'm just like the first holiday we had.
Peak,
the name that won't be said.
We'll leave it at that, innit?
Say less. That first holiday, Lord have his mercies. But looking back now, I'm thinking, that was really bad. But again, what people now, throughout the past couple of years, have been enclosed and you've been in each other's pockets and literally to the point where it's not even as if like, it's kind of like you're living together and you go out for work, you go to work. You're literally like locked down together. Everything. So, you know what I mean? You kind of do learn a lot about each other and stuff. But do you know what? For me, I'm kind of with you because
you got it on you as well.
So I used to commute to work and not having to that commute, the relationships I got with my children, like I kind of think it's really developed. And whereas I was coming back from work and probably remember spending a couple of hours with them in bed and
tops, innit?
Yeah, and they're in bed while I'm going to work. I'm just kind of like now being there all the time. It's just a different dynamic.
Although we're not talking about the work-life balance because that's I had to call my boss. I was like, boss, I don't know if I can do this because I've got a few. So some of them were in school, and even so I had a baby, children that were in school. And I'm meant to be doing my 9 to 5. you can't leave young kids to just do work. You can't just put them in the corner and say, all right, do this.
Take your child to work day.
Yeah, right. For 5 days a week. They're going to struggle because they need help. That's why they have school in the first place. And it was interesting to try and balance me doing my work and making sure I don't get sacked. And them doing their schoolwork to make sure they don't end up as dunces. Bro, that's my job though, innit?
Yeah. No, it's for real though. It's a lot though, you know, because when you're at home and then like when they're at school, it's kind of alright. But when they're actually when the schools are closed,
you gotta be teacher and you gotta be doing your job at the same time.
It was a lot still.
I saw somebody advertise for their child to be babysat on Snapchat to anybody the other day, so I know it gets real. I don't have any children,
they must be the end of heaven.
I've seen the
It's
hustle.
real in these streets.
Yo, I'm on a conference call, bro.
I'm changing my name.
I know.
I'm on a conference call right now to the head of whatever department. Like, they're 5 grades above me. Please, can you just sit down for 2 minutes? Just be quiet. I help with your maths equation momentarily. But I promise you, 3 times 3 is not as important as what I'm trying to do here. Because if I don't get this right, you're not going to eat.
I remember early COVID, I remember when the school, I remember my youngest, I remember I was literally on a conference call with about enough people in there. He runs in the room and goes, ITV Hub!
Yo, them ones. Sorry about that.
And I remember one time I was literally on the and he literally, we ran to the toilet and literally was quiet and he just went, big poo-poos!
As an adult, I shouldn't find that so funny.
And I'm just literally like, so as time's gone on in school, it becomes like easier. But you know what? You know, I kind of think that in terms of like, as a nation, we've kind of become a lot more reclusive. And I think that's probably what's kind of, because if you think about it, when would you have ever considered like watching a concert online, or when you think about
Tory
things
Lanez
like
was making bank.
Yo, he
Bang.
was
Quarantine
smashing.
radio.
And I can't lie, I tuned in.
quarantine radio.
I tuned in.
Quarantine.
Quarantine.
People were going mad on there. Like when I
Yeah.
watched that, I knew that humans were
The world
losing it.
changed, man.
I was like, wow, like these people are doing anything online.
But
Like,
look how bored
anything.
people were. So
Yeah.
it's like, okay, so what am I gonna do? Am I gonna sit
I
there?
love Black Mirror.
It was Black Mirror.
So people at home thinking, should I just sit here and watch paint dry, or should I go and ship a batty for Tory Lanez online? So
see if I can get myself 10k.
It's easy, really.
that's what I'm saying. So like, and then when you think about things like that, then you had like things like Versus, and you've had things like
They were good.
Didn't it?
yeah.
They
But
were
when you
good.
think
I'm
about
waiting
it,
for it
it's
as
like
well.
looking back, I never would have thought that that's something I'd want to watch.
Yeah.
Like just see two people.
But bro, you had time.
But this is the thing, and
could even
people
stay up late.
people have adjusted because I like going to see live music,
Yeah.
live shows, and I end up really enjoying stuff like Versus and stuff like that.
Versus is sick.
And then when you think about stuff like that, then I think what's his name? What's that computer game when Travis Scott did a concert or something?
Yes,
Oh
he did.
my
Did you do it
Lord.
on
That was 2020. That was in 2020.
What's the game called? Did you do a Fortnite concert?
Fortnite
concert. Yes,
concert.
he did a Fortnite.
So there's a concert and people
in
are watching
Fortnite.
it on
That's
computer.
mad.
So you're logged in. I think you're logged into
Stop
Fortnite,
it.
and you're watching the
Watching-
concert.
Yeah, and he's like a character.
Do you have to pay?
He's like a character.
I don't know if you have to pay.
That's
but-
all mad.
But, yeah,
But
can
the
you
point
imagine?
is, it's like
That's fully
people
digital.
were at home who are going to be at home anyway, do nothing,
Yeah.
watching a concert, and then it kind of developed now when people are actually putting on
Travis Scott
live
was crazy.
Yes.
shows and live concerts and stuff like that, and people were really tuning in.
Mm.
And then you kind of like, now you've got things like the metaverse and stuff like that, where it's kind of like where I don't know if
It's
Facebook were
terrifying.
always going to be going that direction.
100%,
So it's kind of like
100%.
I reckon a lot of it's people now are thinking because they've been so enclosed at home and used to being around themselves and in their own world,
They've been
in their own
groomed.
bubble.
People have been
It's
groomed.
kind of now metaverse is kind of like, yo, what I can stay in my yard, but have
get all of
an
this.
entire
Yeah, all of this. Yeah.
do
all
you
of
know what I
this.
mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
kind of like it's
Avatar girlfriend from overseas.
Stop
Weird.
it.
It's
Stop
weird.
it. Stop
and now
it.
it's
Stop
like
it.
VR stuff as
It's
well.
weird.
Like
It's
it's
weird.
crazy, you know.
No, it's weird. I think it's
No,
very, very
it's
weird.
crazy. But again, some people like even now, people are scared to leave the yard. Some people are.
Yeah.
So you've got some hypochondriacs that don't want to leave the yard anyway.
Well, it's social
So-
anxiety, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like that,
so you've got
that
to-
already exists. So with
Yes.
this now,
Now it's been
Yeah, that
times
would have
10.
tripled it for some
100%.
people.
Yeah,
It's
of
a
course,
test.
of course. It's so now.
To be fair, it tripled it for him. Sorry to interrupt. It actually, think about it this way. You go outside your house now. You walk into the shop.
I don't see daylight.
No, hold on. Hold on. And somebody goes, peak, you know. It's peak.
I'm the cougher.
Oh, are you the person? Everybody's like.
And I don't wear a mask. I don't wear a mask either. So
Everyone's
it's very much
and
people
everybody's
look at me.
cracking. That exactly there.
Karen is shook every time.
Coffee,
She's
you know.
intense.
Coffee, you know.
He's like, I know that's not a word, but still, it is now. So no, but it's true what you're saying, because I work from home still. My role is hybrid. I can go to the office I want, but I choose not to. I literally from the morning from 9 o'clock, let's say 9:30 till 6 o'clock, I'll be at home, which is basically all of daylight now.
Yep.
I don't go out in the morning.
Vampire, no.
I see zero sunlight. Luckily, I take my vitamin D supplements. In the
Yo, sorry.
Thing, you know?
Yo,
You
listen.
got to.
I've started taking it now and I feel great.
Right.
Bro. Yeah.
Right.
I've been
For
saying.
all my melanated people out there,
No.
get your vitamin
Eat
D.
your
I
mushrooms
can't
and your
believe it, bro.
I swear to you.
You take them as well?
I've been telling you. Listen. Yo, let me tell you something, yeah.
Go on, you tell your story.
Listen, at one point, yeah, I used to work in a branch, and I remember like it got to where it was so busy. It was like, and I would literally, my day was literally jam packed. So often, like I never really was able to kind of really go out
even for lunch and stuff.
Like that, which is really bad to be honest. But I remember I was leaving my yard, dark, getting to the office. And where my office was as well, my room, my own office, there was no sunlight. It was kind of like in the middle. And then literally I wasn't going out for lunch. And then I was finishing work and it was dark. And I remember one time I went to the doctors and they were like, yo, your vitamin D levels are peak, you know. They said, listen, the guy said, one of the worst he's ever seen.
You're getting on.
Yeah, so this is the lowest, and obviously when you're melanated, when you're black as well, it's like these are the lowest numbers I've ever seen. Like, and because you need to take a supplement, and since I've had them, but I've been taking them for years. Yo,
So you couldn't let a brother name. You can let a brother know.
Listen,
You just left me with
All
the
I
names.
know, is I've been gradually getting worse and worse and worse. Obviously, I do kids football, so I coach, so I do get some sunlight, but I've gradually, as the years have gone on, I'm just feeling worse and worse and worse. And it got to Christmas. I'm thinking, what's going on? Like, I just don't feel like me.
Yeah.
I started taking these things in January and I just cannot.
You're back.
I'm literally back. No, you don't understand. I'm back. I'm back. So for all you out there, yeah, I don't care which one it is, yo, you get your vitamin D supplement.
I get it. I hate to be this person to say it, but I'm vegan. And whenever I say it, people point fingers at me and it's a thing.
Point no fingers.
But
Saving the planet.
Mushrooms, spinach, all of that good stuff, rich in vitamin D. Get it down, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Back
true.
it.
Yeah.
Back
True
it.
say.
On top of your supplements.
Man,
back
saw what
it.
I did spinach into Popeye, innit?
Like, I forgot where I was going with it now. I was saying something before.
Yeah, sorry, I interrupted you. That's quite rude. Sorry. Yeah, you're on about.
Oh, yeah, working from home.
Yeah.
So, literally, aside from going to the gym, I don't see anything but the inside of my flat. Unless somebody makes plans with me and comes to me for it. I'm so WhatsApp, everything's a quick message. Like, a couple of my friends are like, are you okay? Because we just don't hear from you anymore.
Well,
Nice,
have you lot bear people off?
Not on purpose.
Yeah.
But it's just, do you know what I mean? I've just gotten used to life without you.
They're
Do
gonna
you know
watch
what I
this,
mean?
you know, and say, "Oh,
It's
yo, is that
okay.
you? Yeah, okay."
I'm glad I haven't. I can tell them all at once.
Yeah.
No,
I'm not knocking you off. It's just
No,
circumstances.
it's not. But I think you know what? You become used to a very simple lifestyle. You realise what you don't need, what's important to you, and unfortunately, people outgrow each other anyway. But when you've been through this 2 years and you realise what's important and the bare minimum that you have to live on and what's important to you and what the time you've missed out on as well, and the things you could have been doing with that time, that's the priority.
So then probably was good for you then.
In reflection.
Yeah,
No, you know what?
Just to circle it back round.
Yeah.
It
No,
was
it's
good
true.
for you.
No, yeah, long term, yeah.
Because I was gonna say, now I don't miss a beat, bro.
Yeah.
I can't miss a beat, bro.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, like yo, if you put that bag on the table, bro.
Yeah.
It's not a game, bro.
I'm not messing about.
I'm not messing about.
Literally, last week I bought 2 riders for this year. Trust me.
Those kind of things.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not.
It's made us more like, you know what? Yeah, if we're gonna do something, let's do it.
Yeah.
So what are you waiting for? Because Boris might lock you down next week. Now what?
Listen, say yes to life, innit? Because I'm telling you, man. Because I went to Jamaica last year, and when I say to you, like, divine timing, like, how it worked, because it was literally, like, literally, 1 minute saying you can't travel nowhere, and literally, like, 2 weeks later, it's like, you can. We managed to get the ticket. Yeah, we went. No, we got back, and then
I'm not letting you get away with this. You've done this twice now. We went to Ibiza.
Yes, we did.
Oh, you've forgotten?
Yeah.
Listen, they opened up the borders because we didn't think we was going.
Like
went Ibiza.
I'm jealous.
We got back a week later, locked it back down.
Divine timing. That was a window.
The window was like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And we went within those 2 weeks like a 4 or 5 day holiday.
Trust me. Like,
wild.
when we went last year to Jamaica, literally, it was, we weren't ready to go. Then it was like, you can go. Came back, and it was like Omicron. And I was just we came back and it was, but the thing is, before,
can't be no rare nephews.
right there, trust me. But the thing is, I was, when I was over there, we didn't hear nothing. And I remember we got back, it was like panic. I was like, yo.
It's a Truman Show. That's what it is.
It is, for real. but yeah, I mean, to kind of like, for COVID, it's been a bit of a mad one. But I think, in reflection, I think there's been some pros and cons. And I think, in terms of lockdown and what we've experienced and stuff like that, it's been a bit stagnant, but I think you're given a lot of time to self-reflect, and I think you can probably pick, some pros and cons from it, and I think at the end of the day, if you're able to pick some pros from it, then I think that's a win in any case.
I got better at DJing.
I
got better at DJing.
Exactly, and now
I did the whole online thing. So
to be fair, I saw a few like IG lives that were rated.
Oh yeah, you were hard on it, weren't you? Actually, you were. And obviously, and I've listened since lockdown. Listen, I've seen your back.
You ain't even seen half the flyers in it. It's dread.
Yo, listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. Listen, when we went to that last gig, and I was saying, no, listen, dancehall. Listen,
listen.
I didn't even listen to dancehall like that. Yeah, but I'm telling you now, if I was gonna be a DJ, dancehall. Let me tell you something. Yeah, people are paying the DJ to pull up tracks.
The vibes. They're there for the vibes only. They'll pay anything for the vibes.
No, but I saw the amount of money that was changing hands. I think this is unacceptable.
Cash in hand.
Unacceptable. Tax free.
It was a good night, man. It was a good
night. I was like, yo, I'm coming to Sheffield to get lessons immediately.
It was a great night.
Trust me, man. That nice, you, man.
Bro,
trust me.
One time, before we go, I was in Sheffield and we just did this random party and I played for free. Yeah. Just one of them summer parties, pay for free.
How much did you make? Because I know it's coming.
Oh my gosh. I made more than I'd normally make on a normal booking. Like, it was nonsense. Like,
doesn't make any sense.
I need to learn.
They must have dropped like an easy 350, like in like 45 minutes, bro. Like, it was
This is ridiculous.
They might pay for free, you know?
Yeah.
Imagine if you actually been paid.
Yeah, it was rap. Yeah, I've been working over a good. Yeah, I can't even speak. Let me not talk about that. Yeah.
I think that in regards
Boris might start looking for me.
Literally. No, I think we just grow through what we go through, don't we? And that's what it is. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. Like, I think lockdown, a lot of people had losses.
There is that.
And that's and I feel for those people. Do you know what I mean? My thoughts are with those people. But a lot of people are actually complaining about time that they could have actually used to grow themselves, and they may not have. Yeah,
because some people would just. I get it, because you're in a state of. Remember when it first came about, it was meant to be for how many days? It wasn't meant to be for that long.
Imagine as well, people before lockdown may have been complaining they didn't have enough time to do things.
And just gave you a bag of time. Now,
let me tell you something.
Did they do it?
Listen, let me tell you something. June 2020, I was going to go to Mexico for my mom's birthday. Yeah. I remember March came, lockdown.
Yeah, I remember. It'll be fine.
Yeah, Philly. I was like,
Sarah.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? I was like, literally, a couple of weeks, we'll be fine. And then time was going on. I was like,
a year later.
A couple of weeks. So yeah, lockdown. And then it got to a point to like, May, I was like. And the thing is as well, I remember when it came to like, because they said to me, it's been cancelled, right? Alright, cool. Do you want to rebook for the same time next year? I was kind of, might as well just do that. And something says, no, never get my P back.
Yeah.
Even if I would have rebooked,
you still would have missed it, bro.
I still would have to go. But it shows you how naive we were at the time.
Yeah.
No one knew what this was.
It's the first time that anybody in our generation has seen anything like this.
Yeah, it's true.
No one knew what this was.
Like, I did quite a lot of my lockdown time, but I'm quite productive anyway as a person,
yeah, same.
naturally. So after a few days, I'm getting cabin fever. So I'm gonna be. I need to do something because otherwise I'm just gonna go crazy. A lot of people were just looking to see what happens next. And there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, as the government kind of had you like this, following the carrot, you didn't necessarily know to start. Let me start working on myself because we're meant to be out in 28. We'll be out by April. We'll be out by May. We'll be out by June. And then if you remember, Eat Out to Help Out came out mid-July.
Oh Lord have mercy, that was a farce.
I do a birthday bash every year. I've not missed a year, even through COVID.
I've
both
lost 2
times.
birthdays.
Yeah, most people
I'm
have.
about to be fair,
Both times.
I don't care.
The window's been open both times, and I've done my birthday bash both times.
My birthday was the first week of COVID, and then the second one we went back into lockdown.
Oh no, Dre.
I've lost 2 birthdays.
Oh, same.
I'm 28 basically.
No. No, but the last time I was able to do anything for my birthday was 2020.
Yeah,
because 2021, because 2020 was just before lockdown. Then 2021, we're in lockdown. So this year is my only time I've been able to do something.
It's mad.
We're gonna make it big, man. Don't worry.
Yo, do something. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But yeah, man. But one thing I'll say, like, look, with COVID in the past couple of years, one thing I would say is, look, man, just let people do what they're doing in it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know what, like,
you don't
know no one knows nothing.
Yeah.
And we still don't know nothing. So the point is that, look, if people want to do certain things or don't want to do certain things, let them be. Don't, just keep judgment to yourself and vice versa. Do you know what I mean? And if you're gonna, one thing I hate is when people say, yo, you need to research this, fam. You need to, like, just because,
don't need to
fam,
shit.
one guy sent me something, it was like, someone sent him, it was like, I don't know, some church, chainmail message. Wasn't church, but it was like a chainmail kind of thing where some person sent to some person, sent to some person. It was just like, yo, this, and this. And I was like, yo, all right, cool, man. I'm always open to look at things, innit? And I was like, oh, where'd you get that from? Oh, I don't know, my friend sent it to me. But he said to me, you need to do research. So I said, but why do I need to do research? You can't tell me where that source came from.
Yeah.
So I say all this to say, you don't know nothing in it, yeah? None of us know nothing.
Where's the references?
You know what I'm saying?
Did you see that?
Harvest system references.
Yeah, where's the harvest system references?
Did you see that on the fact checker on Facebook? He's owned by Johnson's and Johnson's.
Say less.
It's all a lie.
Say
it's all a lie.
Do you know what I mean?
Literally, it's
That's
ridiculous.
a problem anyway.
I say all this to say, let people do what they're doing. Let people if people want to do certain things, they don't want to do certain things. If that's right for them, that's right for them. They don't need you to point your finger when you don't know nothing yourself. Tell them about you should be doing this or I think this. You know what I mean? Shut your mouth and let people carry on with their life.
End of story.
You know what I mean?
I'm in agreement there.
Did anyone see that picture with Wiley and Rashford and Lingard?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So
I don't understand how they got there. Not how they got there, literally. How the news outlets got there.
People literally guilty by association for anything. Like, you want to paint somebody in a certain way, especially in a media publication.
All right. Do you want to explain what you actually saw?
Right.
Yeah.
So basically, what it is they're in Dubai, and I don't know the ins and outs, but there must have been some sort of party or
There's
something.
been a party in it. They've been jamming.
In a party, picture was snapped
With Wiley,
who
in a party scene is, regardless of circumstance, in a party scene, he's a legendary guy.
Yeah, 100%.
So they take this picture. Twitter then erupts, basically saying, "Can't believe you taking a picture with an anti-Semite," and to the point, right, that it literally got crazy, and they had to then not apologize, but they kind of said,
Wiley removed the picture.
Wiley removed the picture.
Yeah, he had to remove the picture.
That's a big bro move.
Yeah,
That's
just
if it was just him in the picture, he would have removed Jack.
Exactly.
Yeah. But that's to be fair,
I respect that.
I do respect that.
He's trying to protect Rashford.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like, okay, so if I take this picture with someone who is who I see out, who I probably know, or I've grown up listening to, or whatever, it's kind of like, okay, so if I take this picture, that means that I agree with everything.
Automatically affiliated with everything he says and does, which is stupid.
So if I take a picture with if I see Wiley take a picture of him, does that mean that I agree with everything that he says?
Yeah.
Like
100%.
Wiley,
there's a lot of things I don't agree with that Wiley does.
Listen,
for the most part, Wiley's an idiot. But the thing is, at the end of the day, if I take a picture with this guy, how am I now agreeing with anti-Semitism?
Okay,
You're just a target.
Let's get to the let's get to the root of the
Ooh.
cause.
Woo.
The root of the cause, in my opinion, is it was never about Wiley and it was
No.
never about anti-Semitism. It was about the continued flaming of Marcus Rashford. Like he cannot catch.
He's barbecue
good
beef.
Yeah.
Brisket.
Brisket. Literally.
They'll look for any way to tear him down, no matter what good this guy does. Over the government for the country as well. Man's feeding people's children, and plural. And when the government weren't, and he's still a target. No matter what he does, he's a target.
That's the issue. So I think obviously they've seen the picture. And oh yeah, we're gonna get him now.
We're gonna get him now.
You messed up, bruv.
But it's like he had to
get you.
He then had to he put something out to say.
You should have put nothing out. Bruv,
I wouldn't have said a damn thing. He basically was like, oh,
your team are not gonna sack you.
Basically, he went out and said, both of them, him and Lingard basically said, I don't care about Lingard, but respectfully, but it's kind of like he put something out to say, I don't agree with anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
But I'm just like,
you shouldn't even have to.
Why did you need to an FYI?
I don't even feel like that would have been down to him. I think that would have been down to.
Nah, it would have been the people. Maybe even the club would have said,
That's
you know
a
what?
career and a role model move, not because he actually felt he needed to. I don't think that was a personal.
Nah, I don't think it was personal either. But then this is the same man that was getting slandered for buying his mum an expensive house.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, do you know what?
That's what you're meant to do if you're rich. You're meant to look after your mum. That's the person that birthed
No, but
you.
the
What
thing
are you
is,
talking about?
if you're in that position, the media are gonna want to target you. Like they are just gonna want to target you. He bad.
He gets it really bad.
They don't want a hero, especially in the black community, but especially being a black male in this country. They don't want you to be a hero.
Yo, you know, if Rashford mess up one time, it's a problem, you know.
Exactly.
You understand, yeah? Rashford, I don't know if he understands it. He's a young guy.
I think he understands.
You think he understands?
Yeah, I do.
Yo, if you get even one of these cases where it's like, where it's a bit blurred.
You've had a night
after
too good.
You've had one of them nights with so and so. They will eat him.
I think he knows. I do.
Oh yeah,
They've not caught him, so I'm starting thinking, yo, girls must be trying to catch this guy out.
No. But my thing is as well, though, it's like even before he missed his penalty for England, he was feeding your pitney. So I'm thinking, I don't see how. You don't bite the hand that feeds you. Yeah, I kind of think like I don't understand how you can.
Do you know what your issue is?
Don't bite it. They tore it off.
Do you know what your issue?
A bit because they're hungry as well.
Do you know what your issue is? Right, we went Southport weekend the one time.
Yeah.
Right?
You've always got an event at reference.
Yeah.
No, because that's what kind of showed me. Like we forget.
Yeah.
So you live in Notts, I live in Sheffield. We're from places where there are multicultural people, like white, black, Asian, Chinese, whatever.
Yeah.
And for the most part, most people are accommodating of other people, even in just a public space. What you forget is, when I drove to Southport weekender, and we left Birmingham, and we left Bristol, and we was just driving, there wasn't a brown face in sight. They don't know anything about other ethnic people apart from what they read and what they see on the TV. So we're sitting there thinking, how can this press be doing this? Like, how can they continually be beating up Marcus Rashford, forgetting that a lot of the country, because black people in the makeup was like 5-6%, something like that, don't see black faces.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, okay, this is what it is. They're pandering to those people. I'm not saying that those people are initially racist or ignorant, but some of those people will be just by default. And they're pandering to those people. And that's why I reckon they continue with this notion.
There's a lot of selective outrage as well.
Selective
Because
outrage.
there's this tweet that kind of brought to my attention where it said, someone put, remember when John Terry was openly racist to Anton Ferdinand and still manages to have jobs at Aston Villa and Chelsea? Rafa and Lingard take a picture with Wiley and need to do a press conference to condone it. Have the same energy all around them.
Not to shut your podcast down, but if it's all white, it's all right, innit? Like, it's just, I'm sorry, it's just, it's what it is.
Well, that's literally what I'm sensing here, to be honest. Because if we're being honest, let's be honest, like...
That's why the white male is the enemy of every not functionality.
Orifice.
Every orifice going. So if you're a feminist, who's your enemy.
Listen, I've
If
got
you're
white
black,
female
who's
friends
your-
that have the same opinion.
It's-
So
it's- no, it's across
not
the
like
board.
a us and them thing.
No.
I have white female friends that have that exact same opinion.
Listen, if you're a feminist, you're a white feminist, your enemy is still the white male.
Yeah.
Just because of stuff like
100%.
this. Because this doesn't make any sense. Like, how is John Terry able to continue with his career? Like, how are you falling upwards? And Rashford's just in a picture with a man, and it's a wrap for him.
He's
But I
on
think-
holiday with somebody he's grown up with.
Growing up
basically.
listening to.
Like, that's
Growing
it.
up
That's
listening-
it.
I said, growing up listening to.
Yeah,
Because Rashford's
exactly.
young.
He doesn't know him. He's not necessarily a hero to him, but he's somebody that he
would
has
have heard
referenced.
as a
That's
kid.
familiar. That's from his childhood.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly.
When he's a teenager.
Exactly.
That-
Why wouldn't you take a
why
picture with
would
that
they,
person?
bro? Yeah,
But it just shows you the disconnect there, isn't it, between communities and understanding of what people go through as a whole. Because there's some people that will see this Rashford and they'll think, yeah, you know, wagging his finger at him. But and it's the same people. Like, for example, like, okay, so recently there's a quote. There's a woman called Molly May, right? Who's she's on Love Island, and she basically was in an interview. She was basically saying, "Yo, to be fair, she's made bare pee, and she's done all right still."
Oh no.
But the thing is, yeah, she was basically saying, "Yo, everyone's got the same 24 hours. Like,
No, we don't.
like anyone, you know what I mean? Basically saying, yo, like if I can do it, then anyone can do it, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's about how much you want it, how
I could do it.
yeah, how hungry you are, and it's the kind of thing. And again, that just shows you the disconnect between communities and people not understanding that certain people have certain privileges.
Bro, it's the privilege. Bro.
That some people don't have.
Podcast, because it was on the Stephen Bartlett podcast. I listen to that every morning without fail before I start work every single day.
Okay.
I love that podcast.
Yeah.
She is the only person, because don't get me wrong, I can listen to, because they're long, you know, they're like an hour 45 minutes. Got lots of different people from all walks of life, all different careers and whatnot. And she's the one person I've listened to and thought, why is she on here? I didn't understand. Initially, I thought, why is this young girl on here just because she has made some money? Because she had no real life experience to share. She had she'd not built her opinions. She just drew them from her, from her a limited experience from her, being on social media, having a very public relationship and going on a reality TV show. Sorry, you've not built not the right, I'm not going to say, because obviously at the end of the day she's successful in a sense, but I'm sorry, you shouldn't be here advising, the next generation
about
on how to be successful, when all you've done is had an opportunity, been on social media and had a relationship.
But
that's all you've done.
Yeah,
This is,
and she's come from a good upbringing as well. But
Two police officers raised her.
And I think don't please pensions are serious.
So she's okay. So she's automatically middle class by default.
Yeah.
She is.
But
Yeah.
and there's a lot of other elements as well, because she went on to Love Island, and she's deemed as traditionally attractive.
Isn't she with one of the
Tommy Fury.
Yeah.
All right, so it's game over.
Yeah.
This is
This
what
is
I
game
mean.
over.
There's a lot of
I'm gonna get this one.
there's a lot of variables, and there's such a thing as pretty privilege as well. Where, all right, for example, who was the black girl that won it? Amber. She kind of, I saw something she said. She basically said, look, what she's kind of saying is quite, it's.
I saw that.
Yeah, it's quite damaging, because, she basically said, being on something like Love Island, how lucky to be even on that show. I'll park that point for a second. I saw the other day. It was like a chart of the easiest shows to get on if you was to apply for. And I think Countdown was like number 1 or whatever. But Love Island was like low. Like, you have to be like, the chances of you getting onto Love Island.
I'm minute, because I'm a bag of people are trying.
There's so
and
many
trying to pick.
Right, exactly. So she was basically saying, to even go on that show anyway, or to be given the opportunity to go on that show, is you're lucky anyway. And people on there are traditionally deemed attractive. So there's a lot of variables in your favour, and also the fact that people like you as well, you're likable, or that in itself, and being able to leave and monetize that, because not everyone is even able to monetize that, because some people have gone back to their regular scheduled job.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And
Strictly black.
yeah, well, one of the black girls.
But Molly May is an opportunist. Like, she is an opportunist. I'll give her that, because she even made a comment at one point. I think something came out in the media. I can't remember what publication it was, but she had basically said that the reason she went on there was not for love, was for opportunity.
Yeah,
She
I think-
outright said that.
Yeah.
So
But she
before she even met Tommy Fury, she had already decided that was purely an opportunity for her. So, you know,
But again,
I can't knock that.
but even being able to even get on that show, there's a certain level of privilege, really.
You have to have
because
a certain following as well.
You do, and this is what I mean. So to then be in that position to sit there and say, "Yo, it's about how hungry you are."
Everybody's got the same 24 hours in the fan. Sound like you're making excuses.
No, but that's just base level as well. Like, there's so much more you can expand on based on what she said that she has zero understanding of. And even her response after, you know, the internet went wild and whatnot, I said, no, we don't. She was basically like, I realise, you know, just this half-hearted apology. Like, I understand we don't actually all have the same 24 hours and there are variables. Why'd you say it then? Because you didn't expand on your point. You didn't explain.
No, but it's because she didn't know. She's oblivious.
She doesn't have the intelligence as well. Like,
here's the biggest point, and a guy from a podcast pointed this out, and I said, you know what, I wholeheartedly agree. If you know what I'm talking about, right?
I know what you're talking about.
Right, so if you are on a podcast like we are now, you have time to discuss your point. You can hear my tone, you can hear the language I use, and you can hear exactly what I'm saying. So it's much harder to get something misconstrued. She meant what she said.
She meant it, exactly. This is what I mean. It's down to intelligence and experience. She doesn't have either. And no, but it's true. That's how I genuinely feel about it. I don't think she has the life experience. I don't think she's had the time. I don't think that she really...
I think sometimes entitlement blinds people. So, for example...
I don't even think it's just entitlement. I think it's intelligence. I genuinely do think it's down to her lack of intelligence. Yeah.
It's lack of self-awareness.
I think
that too.
That too. I'm going to disagree with you there. Only because from what I've seen in my experience, some people, when they're entitled, they don't see the entitlement.
No, I agree.
So therefore, when they're speaking, they feel like they're speaking from a point of levelness, and it's like, really, this is not levelness. Like, you are propped up here.
It's true, but
so
she's
you
got
don't
eyes.
realize.
She's got eyes. She's got eyes.
Like, she must see.
But you know what?
Not blind.
You've got the same 24 hours she has. You're just making excuses right now.
She's a liar.
Why are you not rich?
If you've been kind of born or elevated into a certain position, you've never really had to kind of level down. And I think when you're in a position where you start from the bottom,
you can see everything.
you can actually, you wouldn't say it, that kind of thing, because you know, because you'd be like, yo, I know people that are still on the grind, keep doing what you're doing. Do you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? And hopefully you make your way. But when you're automatically elevated into that position, it's like everyone around you is like in that same position. So
but like, even her parents made a statement afterwards saying something like she shouldn't be just held accountable on that statement. She's still very young and this. I'm like, don't make excuses for her. Like, you raised her. That's your child.
How old is she?
Like, I think, what is she, like early 20s?
Yeah, she's in her 20s.
23?
Okay, so are we actually really outraged? And
No.
B,
No,
are we surprised? Because I'm not surprised
No,
or outraged.
this is it. No.
And I hate to be condescending and I hate to generalize, but I'm not surprised. Like, to me, that's exactly what was going to come out of her mouth all the time. She shouldn't have been on the show in the first place.
She shouldn't. This is what I'm saying. When I heard it, I was like, why is she on a show like this? Because, you know, there's some very inspirational, worldly, successful people that really have some real raw stories that you can learn from on there. And I didn't understand why she was there.
If you're not coming from if you're not coming from a grounded position initially, then if you're coming from a position that she's coming from, remember she said she's already entitled at base level before she even goes on Love Island, then catapults her with Mr. Fury to another hemisphere. She's never gonna see it. That's why she was so comfortable to say it in the first place. She's never gonna see it. Yeah, and she lacks the education for someone to actually show her. And I'm guessing the other place where you learn this is from your echo chamber, your circle of friends. So if I said something like this guy's, yo, Anton, like, let's have a conversation. You know what I mean? Like, she's never gonna hear that from her circle of friends.
It's as well, because what is she, like, creative director for Pretty Little Thing or something like that? And it's like, she had never had a creative director position before that. You are just a face. That's all she is. I don't even believe when I see her title, creative director.
She's making
you're just
6
You're
figures
just
a
a
month.
puppet, another puppet.
6 figures every month. She's making P.
This
And the
is
thing
what it
is,
is.
I listen.
And
the
don't
thing
knock
is
the
for me,
hustle.
I literally, I do not.
No.
hustle
She's
at all.
doing what she's supposed to be
She's
doing.
doing what she's
Just
supposed
keep
to
your mouth
do.
shut.
I think
Right
what
then.
it is, it's just the lack of self-awareness and the lack of understanding that not everybody is able to maneuver the way you've maneuvered. And there's been a lot of things which have worked in your favor, which you're probably clearly oblivious to, which I think other people have been able to kind of point out and said, yo, you realize how lucky you were to even get on this show? Like, there's certain privileges you've got which have allowed you to get to that sort of position. Now, I'm not saying that, like, look, nothing wrong with, if you're privileged, but
To me, it's concerning though.
you need to be aware of such privilege and understand that not everybody is in the same position and able to do what you're doing.
Why?
It's concerning to me because there's young women that look to shows like
Oh,
that
yeah,
and
yeah.
those sorts of opinions and
Yeah.
think, you know what, you're right.
Yeah.
She ain't right.
No,
She ain't
yeah,
right.
she
There
don't
are
care.
variables.
Yeah.
Everybody is different.
There's many, many
And
variables.
if you are in a position where you're a role model, you're the face of this brand that a lot of people, especially young women in the UK, buy from, and you're taking that on board, that's very damaging. So to me, that's really concerning.
There's a lot of young girls that now
Exactly.
it's going to come out of their mouth.
Oh,
Exactly,
yeah.
and that is so damaging for the next generation.
Which
Like,
brings
I don't like to
ignorance.
think that that's an influential quote from somebody.
Well, and
like,
I think, do you know what though? Like, again, I'm not really surprised. Like, I've heard it before. Like, we will have the same 24 hours in a day.
Yeah.
Don't get twisted. Me and the family have the same 24 hours in a day.
yeah,
Yeah, but me and middle class Pete don't have the same 24 hours.
Right.
In a day. If his daddy knows, like, the solicitor, that, I'll give you an example. So me and him both go and do law, and we both hustle. We both come out with the same grade. But his dad knows somebody so all of a sudden,
opportunity is different.
he's doing his pupillage, and I'm sitting there struggling. So, yo, we've got the same
Listen,
24 hours. It's like, no, we don't. Like,
let me tell you something, right? Years ago, I remember I was still at uni, and one guy that I used to work at JD Sports with, he'd literally just finished uni, and he was like, yo, I saw him in the shop one time, and he was like, I got a job working at like recruitment at a law firm. He basically said, did some interviews, and basically they were kind of like type up letters to say, sorry, you weren't successful, you weren't very successful. He said, one of the sisters came in and said, yeah, that one, don't send a rejection to him. And he said, his dad is so-and-so, so-and-so. So literally, even though he's interviewed poorly,
Entitled.
wow.
He's just entitled.
man got brought through.
Yeah.
And that is entitlement. And I'm not going to knock it, because if he does, that guy, then cool, innit?
Listen,
But just be aware of it. But
at the end of the day, if I'm in a privileged position, I'm bringing my...
that's what I said, you're bringing me something through,
I'm
aren't you? That's
bringing
what I'm saying. I
don't
can't
knock
blame
it.
a man
It's
for
not
it.
about that.
Yeah, but it's about
like,
the awareness.
It's about the statement
It's about
she made. It's
me
the
knowing,
statement.
and I'll be telling my sons, like,
Yo.
you do realise, yeah,
That's
you
the
got
issue.
brought through.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do
exactly.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So don't...
So now you got to back it. That's what
Exactly.
it's about. Don't just say things willy-nilly because you're the face of something and you run
Yeah.
a reality TV
Yeah.
show and you got a public relationship.
Yeah.
You got a lot of ticks in your box from default.
And
just
now
from
you're
being
on
you.
Diary of a CEO. I can't comprehend it.
But these sort of things there, these sort of things there, as much as we can look back and say, that we can see the nuance in it. Some people see it very black and white, and you've got some people who think, raw, like, how I look and how I present myself, I need to change how I am and how I look in order to actually be deemed acceptable by society. Like, there's a footballer who, I forgot what his name, let me remember his name. African footballer.
I saw it on
And he's
Instagram.
playing the African Cup. What's his name?
I don't know what you're
Keita
talking about.
Baldi. Yeah, played for
Oh my gosh.
Senegal. My man, yeah.
Where are we
He
going
started
with
the
this?
African Cup. Yeah.
No,
Did you see?
I know what you're talking
have
about.
you seen?
I haven't seen it. I don't know what you're talking
Haven't
about.
seen
I'm
it?
not gonna lie.
Yo.
You know what? I'm glad
Look,
I've not
look
seen
it
it, sir.
You know,
Look it up.
I've seen it,
You're gonna have to put. Yeah.
but he ain't the first. He ain't the
Like
first.
this
What
guy
country is he from?
is Senegalese.
Wow.
So basically, he's basically.
Man started off darker than me. Now he's lighter than me.
But yo, the bleaching is he
concerning
bleached his
to-
skin.
No.
To the point where it's like you look grey, my G. And the thing is as well, like it's like
Blonde
but-
hair, grey skin.
yes, but he's yes.
Man's looking like Edward Cullen from Twilight.
No, don't do it. Don't do that. You know what though? The bleaching skin is an epidemic in our community.
It's been that way though. This is what I'm saying. He ain't the first.
Africans and Caribbeans alike.
Oh,
Like, I'm not
gosh,
letting
yeah.
anybody get.
I
away
can
with
go
it
to
'cause-
my local hair shop and see skin bleach on
See,
it.
I keep
Do you
hearing
know how
this.
mad is that?
No,
That's
no.
it.
I keep
hearing this.
Behind
Behind
Sports
behind the
Direct.
Let me tell you something. Me and my wife went into one shop in Radford, which you probably know which one it is.
Yeah, I do.
And we literally, I think she brought something for her hair or something. They gave her skin bleaching as a free,
a freebie.
as a freebie. She was, what the hell is it? Yo, she cussed the guy for times. Yo, why have you given me this bullshit?
Could you imagine obviously your wife's somebody who I know your wife obviously, so she's somebody who really knows herself. But can you imagine giving that to a young girl who's gone to board?
This is what I'm saying.
Who's not very confident and probably
impressionable.
lost somebody to somebody who's you know what I mean? Like that is wild.
It's mad. It's actually mad.
That's so damaging.
Especially because you're in an environment as well where colorism is prevalent all the time. It's not about just like white privilege, it's light privilege.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So when it comes to just going to get your hair products and you're getting a free bleach.
This is wild to me.
Well, what's the message there, please?
So now I've got to tell my daughter, like, yo, don't worry. Like,
don't worry about it,
free
sweetheart.
bleach,
Like,
like
no,
it's normal.
I'm laughing, but it's not funny.
How you hand out like it's not from. That's
like it's a toy in a Happy Meal.
Like a party favour.
The more I'm thinking about it, this guy deserves the beat down, bro.
Listen, she cussed him for a while. So.
No, she did the right thing.
Yeah.
But imagine I was with my daughter and that happened.
Oh yeah.
Right, exactly right.
Imagine that's
my
normal
case.
for them though, because they've just been handing it out. So has he
Yeah.
not been cussed before? Because he's just been dropping it in bags like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Some people probably would have just. Nah, no.
Like, oh.
You might have to bend.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Do you know
But
what I mean?
again,
No.
this is the kind of things where you know.
How are we still dealing with colorism?
Yeah. No, bro, it's bro. When I seen it, listen. Did you also see?
been that way,
did you also see the
we know about it now.
There's a guy. There's a surgery we can get lip reduction surgery.
Oh, I saw that, bro. I was vexed. I was like, what?
Listen, I think it's hard to comprehend. However,
Go on.
I think in the current state of the world that we live in, where you can get any kind of procedure right now to fall in line with whatever insecurity you have and whatever experience you've had, doesn't surprise me the slightest. As much as I feel like it's an absolute disgrace and it hurts me to feel like everybody would choose to do that. But I'm not remote. If people are bleaching their skin, it doesn't surprise me.
Okay, the bleaching doesn't surprise me. The lip reduction does.
No, but how though? Because
I'm gonna let you know.
Yeah,
I'm gonna let you know.
please.
Right. So the reason why I'm gonna let it land. So obviously a lot of us would have gone through school. When I say a lot, I say
Yeah,
a lot
I
of
know
black
where
people
you're
in
going.
particular would have gone through school. And if you didn't go to a predominantly black school, and even if you did, because black people are evil,
Still,
same way,
yeah.
right? You would have heard about your lips and da 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 da. But as you
Rubber
got a
lips,
bit
walking lips.
older, they tended to, you know what? It looked a bit more okay. Looking a bit more exotic, you know what I mean? Like as you get a bit older.
Instagram now,
Yeah.
girls with like who now.
Let me land. Right. So you now have people who don't necessarily have big lips as a characteristic pumping up their lips for that. So why am I reducing my lips? That doesn't make sense.
If you've been almost close to being brainwashed because you've been bullied so hard and that has stuck with you, I don't think it's
you need
like
to
a
look around. It doesn't make sense
Of
to me.
course it doesn't, but it's
Let's
a
get them out here with lips
mindset
that
though.
look
Like,
painful.
of course, listen, these girls look like they're about to burst.
They look painful. So it's like, well, this girl's trying to make their lips so much bigger. Why are you getting a reduction?
Yeah.
Do you know what? You have to think about it though, no, because sorry to interrupt you.
sorry.
That some of those girls get that because they think that's what a guy wants, not because of what they want.
Wild.
So then, no, but then some men must think that, you know, they may have been bullied for a period of time. Someone may have made a certain comment about them that has stuck with them, and they can't. Some people can't stand the sight of themselves after that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's wild, isn't it?
And as much as I think it is crazy, like it's a crazy concept to me. However, I'm not remotely surprised.
But
It's weird though. Go on.
I
Sorry.
think it's a bit strange. Look, when you're on reflection and when you look back and you think, in school there was someone whose lip looks like a quaver trying to tell me about my lips.
Yeah, I had it.
No
I
top
got
lip,
it.
zero top
I
lip.
got it. I got it.
And it's kind of like,
How dare you? How dare you? How dare you?
with your
How
Pringle
dare
top
you?
lip, yeah, you're trying to tell me about my
You're
lip.
John Major Lip.
John Major lip. But the point is, like now that is now deemed cool. Like, you know, now certain people.
It's appropriation though.
Yeah. Because, like, for example,
See how the reverse is not appropriation. That's
No,
I
it's
oppression.
can't believe it.
No, but it's the same.
I actually can't believe. Sorry to interrupt. I cannot believe we are here.
It's crazy. It is crazy.
Because 20 years ago, what my favorite family? Even 20 years ago, I was still getting killed.
Yeah.
Nose, remember I got nose.
Yeah.
I'm black. I got nose. I got lip like.
Yeah.
I was getting killed.
Yeah. Now it's literally like, for example, look, you might know. Imagine like black girls back in school. Yeah. About look at your bottom. Now it's literally like.
I don't know how
everybody
we
wants a
got.
body. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know how we got here.
Yeah,
I
listen.
blame the Kardashians. I don't understand.
Listen.
I don't know how we got
Please
here.
don't get me onto that.
I don't know how we got
No,
here.
but
I don't know how we got here.
it's while it's well, I'm not gonna solely blame them. They're a big vehicle.
I'm blaming the Kardashians.
It's the why.
Listen,
It's
they
the why.
appropriate
Because
everything.
yeah, because it's like they she gets Kim gets a BBL, and it's kind of like, alright, cool. Now big bottoms are cool.
But it doesn't
Listen.
even just come down to
So you
that.
see, my gym right
I'm
now,
at this-
every
wait
girl's
up.
on that machine.
Girls I went to
I'm
school
on
with
that
in year
machine.
9. Girls went to school in year from year 9 had batty in year 9. Yeah, and they were ridiculed in school.
Yeah, I remember.
Do you know what I mean?
I
For
was
those
there.
good genetics.
Yeah.
It's very sad.
Do you know what I mean? And then now it's kind of like, oh, but the big bat is cool though. Yeah, but when I was in year 9, yeah, when I asked for days, you would make up like, you know what I mean, calling me all sorts.
No, but listen, that family, the Kardashians, demons. Anyway, so they are, again, it's the same thing that I said about the Molly May thing. They are terrible influencers for young women today, because not only do they appropriate in regards to the way they amend their bodies, but even they franchise things that have always been in the black community. So even hairstyles.
Oh,
yeah,
Their
cornrows.
silk press, they call
Yeah,
it a
it
glass
does.
press. Cane rows, they call boxer braids. They will make money off of the community any way they can, and
play
then
dumb as well.
then take their men as an accessory onto that. So because basketball players and rappers, that's all that's all they really see by their sides, and then they appropriate off of the
Literally,
culture.
yes, basketball and
That's
rappers.
it. That's it. I don't see, because what are they, Armenian?
Yeah.
I don't see anything of that they're trying to push within the media or anything
That's a
like
very
that.
good
That's
point,
who
you
you
know.
are.
That's a
So
very
why
good
are you not
point.
pushing that?
Because
It's not
like,
cool.
it's not cool.
It's not cool.
Exactly. No, but this is the thing. It's only cool when Western society can make money off of it.
Yeah.
That's the only time. So that's what it comes down to. And it's this, and that has a massive impact onto the way certain black men and women feel about themselves, specifically in a Western society. Because within this country,
You say that.
it doesn't ever feel like home. Let's be fair. Like, we make it our homes, but it's not. It doesn't feel like home because you're made to feel like an imposter.
And I agree with you 100%, except for the fact that my man, where was he from?
Senegal.
He's from Senegal. So it's reached way further than just the Western world.
No, yeah, of course. Like,
That to me is upsetting.
Yeah.
but who's his
But you-
partner?
But
Yeah.
even so,
Right,
like,
exactly.
you're
If
in
you
a-
look at his partner,
Yeah.
look what he's striving for.
I know, but
Acceptance.
you
Yeah.
live in a land that is made like it's for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
So as much as like some people feel like, okay, England, yeah, it's not for you. Go back where you come from. But bro, you from Senegal, bro.
Yeah.
Black people are meant to be there.
It's based on, but I feel like that's based on money and acceptance, not your environment. Because I feel like
That's brainwashing to the nth degree,
100% though, but that's the world we live in. It's not necessarily about where he is currently, it's where he's trying to get to. And the fact that I don't know where his partner's from, but I know she's very, very light, isn't she? Like, is she white? I don't know if she is.
Yeah, she's white.
She's white, exactly. So I feel like
blonde.
yeah, exactly. So I genuinely feel like he's striving for some sort of acceptance he feels like he may
Trophy.
have potentially not had.
It's
So depending where you've come from in your experience, yes, he might be from a beautiful place where he was physically accepted in his entirety, but that's not where he's trying to get to.
Do you know why it's wild for me? I get it, but it's wild for me because growing up in England, the amount of racism that I was subjected to was quite high. So if somebody who is British was to do that, I have more of an understanding for it than anybody else. To be from a place where the majority of the people look like you is wild, because you're literally doing this for class status.
Yeah. That's what it is.
You're not doing this because you were bullied, because you were black, because everybody in your school was black.
Yeah.
Everybody in school had big lips. A lot of the people would have had dark skin. It's Senegal, for God's sake. It's hot.
But it's a status thing, isn't it? And obviously,
Look at the media though. You're still being pumped with those same.
It's crazy how
visuals.
the Western world has a
listen,
stranglehold on the world, isn't
the
it?
whole
and
world.
do you know what? It's also other races as well. I remember I watched this documentary on BBC Three, and there's one of these Chinese woman. She was talking about Chinese and people in that diaspora, how they view themselves, and a lot of them are trying to get surgery, sort of like to open the eyelids and stuff like
the
that.
contacts, even everything.
To look more Western, and it's because of the fact that that is what's deemed as the most
European standards of beauty.
Do you know what I mean? And again, it's sad to see because it's kind of like
the British Empire has a lot to answer for.
It does, and I think in 2022 now, it's more shocking now for me seeing it because now there's more of a movement where people are embracing themselves a lot more.
Especially when those people are trying to be more like us.
Yes.
But it's like, again, it's only acceptable if they're doing it.
Yeah.
It's the whole concept is crazy to me. It
now,
really is.
If you'd have said this about 6-7 years ago, I'd have been like, I wouldn't have been as shocked. But I'm more shocked now because of where things are now. You've got so many different movements, so many shows on TV. You look at shows like Insecure, where it's literally
fire.
Yeah, where it literally is about the black experience.
Black.
Through and through.
No, but I think they look at it as almost like animations, though. This is the thing. Like, it's not like they look at it as something to. It's like entertainment.
But even like look at like the latest edition of London Vogue, where it had literally like black women on the front.
Was that when they had all the dark skin women on?
That was fire.
But the thing is, it's like seeing that now, where we are now.
So why would you then go?
Why would you now want to get your lips reduced? Why would you?
People are making steps, no matter how small. You can see there's some slight progression going on in the westernized world to the point where you are starting to see black women in particular. 'Cause black men have kind of been there for a minute. Yeah, black women are starting to move into that area where you can actually see them and identify. It's like, why at this stage would we be seeing all of these issues?
You just need it's where we are now. It's what we
how already done.
Yeah, but it's kind of like
basically.
But we shift culture at the moment, and it's whatever we do is deemed cool now. Like, listen, the other day, I saw a video. Phil Foden, the football player, wearing a do-rag. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
But the point I was
just think about that. Just deep it. Yeah. Because
he wants to get waves. Yeah. Like. One of our waves since year 9, like, and I'm just sitting there thinking, like, these are things now where it's kind of like
90s is a waves thing, isn't it? From all the way back in the 90s.
Exactly. You know what I mean? You got to answer the man like Keith Sweaty. Do you know what I mean? So literally. The point is that like now it's more shocking to me now because of where we are now, and I think we've come a long way.
There's more.
As a culture.
There's more black faces in the Western world than you
Yeah.
ever would have seen in life. In history.
It's true, but I feel like again it just results down to money and fashion. That's
they're doing it for a reason.
Don't get me wrong. I'm happy because I want to understand that there's younger generations that see that
as a normal representation.
100%. Like I want them to know that they can look on the front of a magazine or go on their Instagram or whatever they're looking on and see that representation. That's important. However, it's for me as an adult. It's really irritating to see that it's for all the wrong reasons.
Oh, we know that though.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just irritating, isn't it? Like, I'm happy about it, and it's the catalyst for change. However, it's
still business.
Piss take, isn't it?
It's still for business.
That's
business
it.
as usual.
Yeah, it's business as usual.
A product. That's how I feel it. It's a product.
No,
for
but
people.
it's not how. I'm not even saying how you feel. I think that's how it is.
It is.
Yeah.
No,
it's cool right now to show that you show representation in your branding.
Yeah.
All I say is, look, now just embrace who you are.
Yeah.
And acknowledge the journey of where you come from, no matter where you're from.
Find the words.
Listen, I'm telling you, no matter where you're from.
It's like Rev running the bath.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, he does, innit? With his gut out. Yeah. You know, Corinthians too. But the thing is, you're like, no matter where you're from, like, you know, just acknowledge, embrace your culture and respect other people's. And acknowledge.
You'd like to think.
But acknowledge also, like, when I think that like appropriation needs to be acknowledged more and yeah.
Listen, somebody
It's like breast reduction, you know, to help you back. Lip reduction is for no reason.
No. There's a guy I know. I'm obviously not gonna mention his name or whatnot, but I posted something on my Instagram basically acknowledging appropriation in the Western society, and he put, is it not the same as skin bleaching though, because you are trying to have lighter skin, so why you know, if somebody lightens their skin or has whatever done to their lips, why is that a problem for you? And I was like, do you not understand how one is not like the other, because one's due to oppression, the other one's due to fashion and appropriation, so how could you compare the two? And he was like, no, I just don't agree with you, I think you're lost. I was like, how can you tell me? How can you tell me?
You should have gave him the thumbs
I gave him a
up.
lot more than that.
No, you did too much. He's not ready.
But this is where it came with. Remember with the girl from Little Mix, where she literally because
Jessie.
Yeah, because the thing is, right. Listen, those who know will know what she was trying to do.
Yeah.
And
I don't even put it just down to her. I put it down to her team.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They were trying.
Gassed her up.
Look, racial ambiguity is what's in right.
It sells.
It
has been doing since the early 90s.
But it sells.
But we know you, Jesse.
We know.
But the thing is, and what they're trying to do, you can tell what they're trying to do. It's kind of like, look, you want to try to create this persona of someone who's, you can't really tell, is she black, mixed race, Latina, racial ambiguous? Oh, I like bad boys. You'll have a couple of boyfriends with the stiffest brothers on the road, yeah? You don't like bad boys. You don't.
You don't really want a man from the ends.
Your ex was stiff.
Yeah.
You don't
What
want
was it, Chris from Love Island?
That was one of them.
Stop.
That was one of them. A little bit of leave it, yeah. There was that man, and there was another guy who was stiff as well. But I say all this to say, yeah, they were trying to create this kind of caricature of you know, which will sell in today's market, and people were like, oh, that's what the problem is. You don't understand, and it's okay if you don't understand.
Say that though.
But shut your mouth, innit?
People never say they don't understand.
They never do, and I would appreciate that so much more.
I do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I don't understand? I shut up. That's when I sit back and watch.
If you want to know, we can have a conversation about it.
Yeah, exactly.
But for me, it's the whole
in a
thing.
safe space.
It's the whole thing of like, well, I don't sort of, okay, cool. But we don't. Let's just leave the conversation there.
Do you know who I felt sorry for in that circumstance? Was that, what was it, Leanne?
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple of them that are mixed, Jade and Leanne.
Yeah.
Leanne, and I think the whole internet attacked her because she said, you know what? I don't rate what she did.
Yeah.
And I was really happy that she said that. But everybody, like any fan base that Little Mix had, anybody attacked her.
But you know what? The reason why I felt for her as well is because she's always in the group. I watched the documentary today. She always felt like the outsider in the group because she was black and because she presented herself in a certain way.
Evidently,
she was
well,
always
like,
deemed as the least popular one.
And now,
but when someone does what she does
like
and dresses how she is, then she's now she's embraced.
Yeah.
So wait a minute, but that's me though.
Yeah, that's literally you're
Yeah.
being me right now.
Yeah.
You were channeling me.
Yeah.
And then they expect you not to say anything.
Yeah,
speak
and now
openly.
with me, everyone was like, I'm the least favorite person.
Yeah.
She said the only time she felt embraced when she went to like Brazil when there was black people.
Yeah.
But
That would have been a fact.
Yeah, but she basically says otherwise, like, there's competitions about who's your favourite. She was never the favourite.
Yeah.
But now it's kind of like you've literally you've tried to take, like, you try to
embody what I am,
and you're running with it. And you're
She's doing what the Kardashians did.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's exactly the same thing.
But the fact that Nicki Minaj supported it for me was just like,
she was
got a check, innit?
She was trying to get a check.
She would have got a big check.
Like,
she was trying to get a
this
check.
is your single. Like, you got to make that money.
Big check, yeah.
She was trying to get a check. But realistically speaking,
she needs a check though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't send it down.
But yeah, she was looking after her own investment. So I do not rate her for that.
No, I don't rate her for that.
She didn't need to do that. Not all money is good money.
But bottom line is, man, embrace who you are, man. Respect people's cultures, and also call out. Look, listen, acknowledge appropriation as well. I think that's very important as well. Like,
No,
just no, but
appropriation is the same as skin. What?
This is what I'm saying.
But
It's
also,
crazy.
And also, don't conversate with idiots because no,
right now, you know.
because like I said,
Don't converse.
It puts you in the advocate role though, where you have to convince them that they are wrong.
But certain people don't want to. They've got
Yeah.
their own opinion and they don't want to think of anything else.
and they don't want to think that
So
they are
when I
wrong
when I hear
racist.
somebody say certain things, I'm like, alright, cool. I'm not even gonna.
Whatever, yeah.
Because nothing that I say to you, it's always gonna end in
You're never
agree.
gonna
It's
agree.
always gonna end in agree to disagree. Do you know what I mean?
And that's
So-
how literally the last thing I said to
How
this
is that
person
different
was.
from bleaching the skin? This is bleaching, yo.
But when someone says that, there's no point in the conversation about it.
Yo.
Do you know what I
I
mean?
said, do you not understand how someone would reach
that
that
comes
result?
from 400
Like,
years of slavery, and that comes from the
Right.
British Empire. And if you notice, everywhere where the British Empire has been, people are trying to bleach their skin. You've got Chinese people trying to do it, Indians, Pakistanis, black people, like everywhere where they've been.
Yeah.
That's been a direct result of them being there. How cheeky!
Mad in it.
Say less.
But you're right.
Yeah, man. But yo, you know what? It's been a dope conversation, man. As it always is when I'm around you two, anyway. So it's good vibes. But yeah, everyone, thank you for listening. We'll wrap it up there. But I hope you've enjoyed, and I want to keep this consistent and keep it going for 2022. So at some point in the future, I'd love to have you two back on again, just so we can just delve into
Say the word, bro.
more things. But yeah, man. But yo,
Don't bring me back for R. Kelly Part 2. Let's go. No one did that.
No, but that ultimate conversation is
Yeah.
good. But yo, do you want to shout out your socials or something? Or
Yeah. So you can find me on Instagram, as I said before earlier, Scarcher_vibes. Look out for me. DJ events, all kind of things, flyers, designs, whatever you need. Follow me in it. Safe.
this guy all over the place.
SoundCloud as well, man. Don't forget about the SoundCloud. Yeah.
I'll finish how I started. I'll stay under the radar. Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
It's alright, man. You do some dope poetry, man.
I do still do poetry, but it's for myself. And to be fair, there is stuff coming. It's just not launched yet.
See being
so.
selfish with your poetry, right?
100%.
No, she's dope, man.
She's 100%.
No, she's nice with it, man. She's nice with it.
Cameras off, you can
She's on a
I do
humble
bits,
thing.
I do
Yeah, couple
bits, I do
vibes.
bits.
She's on a humble thing still.
I am.
You know
I'm
what
about to stalk the page and see what I got.
I mean? Yeah, for real.
With the rest of the fans.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, man. Check out Bourbon Banter Instagram page, Facebook page, and there's gonna be more stuff coming, man. So thank you for checking in. I'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace.